had said. Asked by our Amanda Lang if he was worried one of his budget measures could cost future governments billions of dollars, Joe Oliver dismissed the concern, saying he'd leave it for future generations to clean up.
The problem with the doubling of it, you would argue, sir, is less that the people who benefit today and more the cost to governments way down the road. So 20 years from now, when those middle income families are not being taxed on the capital gains, there's a kind of a hard to measure, but in the maybe $80 to $100 billion cost range, are you saddling future governments with costs that they shouldn't have to deal, or at least a lack of revenues that they're going to have to grapple with?
Well, I heard that by 2080 we may have a problem. Well, why don't we leave that to Prime Minister Stephen Harper's granddaughter to solve that problem? If you have to go to 2080 to say that there's a problem with the program, I think we've got a pretty good program. We're not preventing future governments from dealing with issues 10, 20, 30, 65 years down the road. We're trying to provide prosperity in Canadians now and for future generations. And that's just what these measures will do.
Leave it to our grandchildren? Really? I have grandchildren, and like so many grandparents, I don't want to leave the responsibility for cleaning up the Prime Minister's mess to my grandchildren.
Since when does Canada burden our grandchildren instead of building for them?
It's a tough sell to win over this generation with Joe Oliver's remarks.
I think that's a really good answer, right? Because, why should something that's supposed to work now be a problem later on?
I expect my government to kind of look out for my best interest in the future, and putting it off now isn't really going to help anyone.
Now, the government probably isn't too happy with Joe Oliver's remarks, but they do like this policy, which, by the way, is particularly popular with seniors who turn out to vote in much greater numbers than young people. Peter?
All right, Catherine, thank you.